Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 52. Speaking of big, have you seen our new wash? Supersized. All right, check it out. Two different washes. This is the old wash, 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces is the new wash. If you guys have gotten your latest box, you know, we listen. We're like, yo, they want more wash. They need more wash. Let's give them more wash. Also, more scrub and increase the volume in the serum and the eyes so that you don't have to pump so many damn times to pump that thing. Here's a little pro tip. When that disc is moving up, well, actually, let me show you. And here is an airless pump. This is eyes. It also happens to be the container for serum as well. The way that this works is there's a little disc in the bottom. When they go to fill this, they push the disc all the way down. They put the appropriate amount. This is actually 1/2 ounce or 14 grams. Then they put the top on. But what happens is there's still a little pocket of air in between the fill line and the top of the pump or the top of the container. When you prime it, all right, you're just getting the air out of there. And eventually the air is gone, the disc moves up, and you get product. Now, something that happens occasionally, you'll be using it and there'll be like an air pocket down inside basically the product. And so you might be like, oh wait, it only gave me 3 pumps and it's not coming out anymore. It must be broken. It's not. Just keep pumping it and it works. There aren't a lot of moving parts in this. It's pretty basic. It's pretty simple. The reason I mentioned that is because there was actually a comment on the last vlog. I said, guys, let me know if you've got any questions and I'm going to do a Q&A video. One of the questions or comments was, hey, my pump's broken. I only got like 2 squirts out of it and it's done, but it's not empty. It's not, just keep pumping it. Sometimes it may be like 20 times. Ridiculous, we know. We've tried to add a few grams in there to make sure that the pocket is a little bit smaller. So actually there's a little bit more product in the eyes and the serum. Let's move on. Gentlemen, catch up to speed. But first, I would like to actually introduce you to another one of the team members. His name is Anthony, and he is an integral part of the shipping department of Tiege Hanley. This is Anthony. And that big crate next to Anthony is Tiege shipments going out to some lucky customers. Now, what I would like to do is actually answer some viewer questions because you guys have a bunch of them and there's some that I feel like I probably should answer. In a nutshell, the first line is, not sure why you're not responding to my questions. I've asked these questions on 2 different videos with no response. The question is this long, and basically he wants to know what testing we're doing, why aren't we showing before and after pictures, this stuff doesn't really work, and have we proven it? He goes on and on and on, which is a fair question. The deal is, here's how we make claims. When we have an ingredient, yes, there have been tests, there have been studies that show that X ingredient, green tea extract for instance, does have anti-aging properties and does help with X, Y, and Z. Have we done testing on Tiege Hanley? Yes, tons of testing. But they're different tests than like side-by-side comparisons and stuff like that. Testing and blind studies and all that stuff costs a lot of money to do. There are some tests that we need to do in order to stay legal beagles, like antimicrobial tests, like with SPF. We have to do anti-allergy tests. Like, there are a ton of tests that Tiege Hanley have actually gone through. But as far as giving somebody, you know, an anti-aging eye cream placebo and then our eye cream and doing that for we have not done that yet. We have, however, thought about having people submit before and after pictures because a lot of times you can tell a difference in just a short amount of time. And if you're not doing anything for your skin and you start using Tiege Hanley, it's like night and day. We get email after email after email from customers that say, yo, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, myself, my mother, my dad, they've noticed that my skin, I look better, and I actually have gotten comments and all that stuff. So to answer your question, because what else does he say? He says, he also goes on to say, how safe are the ingredients that you use? Everything in our products have been FDA approved in the US, which is a bigger deal being that they're made and manufactured in the US as opposed to overseas. One thing you don't want to use a lot of times are products that are made overseas because there are much more laxed restrictions and regulations surrounding things that you eat and put on your skin. Reading further, he has a lot of concerns about his personal safety. Don't eat the stuff, but it's 1000% safe for your skin. But that being said, may you have a sensitivity to an ingredient? Yeah. Did we do sensitivity testing? Absolutely. You might be very sensitive to smells, and some of the botanicals might... I don't know. I mean, absolutely no disrespect when I say this, that you probably should not use Tiege Hanley skincare products or any skincare products for that matter. Because what you're looking for, the proof, you're not going to find it, because that's not how skincare works. Next question is business related, and in a nutshell, he wants to know how projections are figured. Monthly projections, 3-month, yearly. He's trying to write a business plan, and there are financial aspects to the projections, how much the business will make, cost, all this good stuff. Can we tell him how we figure projections? Projections are one of the hardest things to figure out, because there are so many different factors that go into it, and what you're projecting also is going to vary. You know, if you're trying to project revenue, I mean, there are a lot of costs, there are fixed costs, there's just so much that goes into projections. For Tiege Hanley, you know, part of it is, you know, because we have a subscription model, there is some consistency in terms of how many subscribers we have, so we kind of know that. But there's also pause, there's cancels, there's new subscribers, there are promotions. So our model is constantly in flux. We have somebody who actually handles our financials and our projections, because it is a tough thing to figure out. With Pete and Pedro, you know, it's also kind of difficult, because you know you're having so many different variables that you're having to constantly sort of adjust and tweak. You got to just do the best job you can. In terms of a business plan that you're doing for school, they probably have given you a guideline, or you can figure out how much your unit costs, how many you expect to sell, what your fixed costs are, what your non-tangible or fixed costs are going to be, and then you can kind of back out of the numbers from there. But it's totally arbitrary at this point, because there are other things like advertising. How are you going to market it? What is the conversions? Are you doing paid traffic? It's complex. Next question. Can we please manage to ship Tiege Hanley to countries like India with no shipping charges? No. Shipping is one of the most expenses that a business like ours, like Pete and Pedro, incurs. It is just ridiculous how much it costs for getting the products from us to you guys. International, it times like 5 in terms of the cost associated with shipping internationally. And depending on the country, depending on the distance, it gets crazy expensive. And so unfortunately, we cannot. Next question. Alpha, love what you're doing to help men everywhere. My question is, I want to start a clothing line, but I'm not rich and I don't have much experience. So where should I begin? I've never started a clothing line. Now, I have apparel that I sell over at IamAlphaM.com, like Henley's t-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. I don't manufacture them. They are basically designers that manufacture clothing, and an easy place to start if you're looking to start a brand is go to a place. There's a great one called Alpha Broder. They are a wholesaler of blank apparel. All different brands, all different styles, lots of really cool stuff. Now, they don't sell to everybody. You have to have a special reseller license, and you need to do something special to the garment in order to be able to actually sell it. So there are ways to do it, and if you get an account, you can pretty much buy as little or as much as you want. That would be probably my advice on how you could start with a line inexpensively, and I'm sure that's how a lot of these YouTube guys that are starting like fitness gear and fitness wear get started. They have a brand, they might cut out the tag, put their label in there or a logo, but it's still not a custom designed item because that gets really expensive. The other problem with doing custom clothing is that the minimum order is really big. And so think about this, like you want to do a shirt, right? It's like, okay, well maybe the minimum order is 1,000 units. Maybe it's like $4 a shirt for a t-shirt. Okay, well you need small, medium, large, extra large, double X. And so custom, expensive. You can do it more affordably and effectively if you actually go with somebody who is selling the pre-made. Do you understand? See, check it out. This is Alpha Broder, and they sell blanks. So you can go brands. I mean, look at all these brands, right? Tons of different brands, and they all make different stuff. And so that's probably the best place to start. And one more. You're part Latino, as in me, which I'm not. I'm actually Italian. But he thought that because of Pete and Pedro has a donkey as my mascot. True story. The way that Pete and Pedro came about in terms of the donkey, I grew up in a little town outside of Philadelphia. My mom raised miniature Sicilian donkeys when I was younger. And so I just love donkeys. They're my favorite animal. And so that's kind of how it happened. I'm not Latino. Go figure. And he wants to know, though, where are the employees' models or anything of color? Is this for white people only? No, it's for everybody. Here's this is something where I struggle because I am obviously a fair-complected individual. When I do videos on YouTube, I do a lot of videos that relate to me. I don't step outside of my box all that far because it's really difficult to. It's not that I try to or I'm excluding anybody. And the other thing I like to think is that most of the advice that I give on my YouTube channel is pretty much universal. If you're old, you can follow it. If you're young, you can follow it. If you're black, white, Asian, whatever, you can follow it. With Tiege Hanley, there is absolutely no reason why a black guy, a white guy, an Asian guy, brown guys, whatever, can use Tiege Hanley. Totally cool, totally amazing for every skin color or ethnic group. In terms of the marketing and advertising, we use Jose. All right, he is an influencer, but here's the issue. In this world of men sort of grooming and style, and there just aren't a lot of African American or black guys that are doing this stuff. I'm sure that there are maybe a few, but none with an audience large enough for us to sort of go after in terms of use as an influencer. So it's not that we're trying to exclude anybody, it's that we are working with what we have. Now, that being said, when we start to do, if we ever get into print or other, advertising mediums, then we're going to use other ethnicities as well. And so rest assured, we are a unifier. Tiege Hanley is like the United Nations of skincare products. It works for everyone. That is a terrible analogy. All right, guys, so here's the deal. If you are not signed up and subscribed to the Tiege newsletter down at Tiege.com or the link down in the description, Tiege.com, go and sign up because we are going to be sending out the questionnaire or basically the poll for the banners. We're narrowing it to 10. We're going to send them out for you to actually vote on your favorite. The top 2 win 6 months free Tiege Hanley. Which is super cool and super awesome. Trust me. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. I love doing these vlogs so much because they're such a sort of a deviation from what I normally do on YouTube. It's a place for me to talk about what I love, which is business. I am a businessman from the bottom of my feet to the top of my crazy hair, and I love talking business. Guys, if you've got any questions down in the comment section, please let me know, and I'll make sure to include and incorporate some additional questions in the next vlog. Guys, you rock. You're ridiculously incredible. Freaking amazing. And if you haven't gotten your larger size of Tiege Hanley, make sure to sign up and subscribe today.